Hello, Kashi here. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my experience with the keto diet. Last year, between August, September, and October, I did the keto diet nonstop. 3 months, no cheats. I also started exercising more. Between the two, I seemed to be losing some weight. But the weirdest thing that surprised me was when my boss's boss commented on how I had lost weight. It's really good to know that it was noticeable, but kind of strange that they noticed. For those of you who don't know, keto is a high-fat, almost no-carb diet meant to put your metabolism into a state known as ketosis, where it uses fat for energy instead of carbohydrates for energy. By doing this, it's supposed to burn the fat you have stored up and help you to lose weight. That's the idea of the diet. Obviously, getting good food, good fats, good proteins, good carbs is just the healthy option in general. You should be trying to do that. But when it comes to ketosis and losing weight, the macros are the more significant thing. The idea between fat, protein, carb ratio is to go for something like a 70% fat, 25% protein, 5% carb. That is not a lot of carbs. That means entirely cutting out bread, sugar, potatoes, beans, rice, quite a bit of vegetables actually, with carrots being so high in sugar and starch. And cutting out most fruits. Bananas are definitely not keto. Those 3 months in particular were kind of tough. But there's still plenty of good things that you can eat on keto. Mostly if you're not vegan. Avocados are sort of a keto superfood. Avocados are very high in fat and very good for you. But they are very expensive. Though meat can be kind of expensive too. Coconut is also very good on keto. There's a lot of coconut-based products that are high in fat. Coconut oil and coconut cream. Coconut flour can sometimes be a good replacement for certain cookie recipes, though you're not going to be making anything nearly as good as you would with actual wheat. Fish is good for keto. Some high-fat salmon is already healthy to begin with, and now you're trying to get those fats for keto, so fish is definitely a good one. Nuts are a good snack. I have just plain organic peanut butter. Sometimes I just take a spoonful of it. I used to hate the stuff. Now it tastes sweet to me. I recommend snacking on like a mixture of nuts. Just having cashews, I hear, is not a good idea. But getting the right macros is going to be kind of difficult. Getting variety is going to be kind of difficult. If you're trying to do it vegan, because a good way to get your macros is with meats and cheeses. Because the thing about meats is that they're very high in protein. And getting too much protein can actually be detrimental. The thing about dairy products is that they tend to have some carb. Some more than others. Straight whole milk seems to be especially high in carbohydrate, strangely enough, despite things like cream cheese claiming to be low amounts. And so mixing meats and cheeses, and not just dairy and beef obviously, but mixing high protein fats such as eggs or meats with carb containing fats like cheeses and coconut cream and such is good. Because if you just have the high protein fats, you're going to have too much protein. Just have the carb fats, you're going to have too much carbs and not enough protein. Now you have to cut out most fruits. We don't have to entirely cut out fruit. that would definitely not be livable. Berries have a very high fiber count. And when counting carbs, you count by net carbs, where if you remove the number of dietary fiber from the total to get what you should be counting. I don't really count like math. I've never included numbers in my food necessarily in that way. But blackberries, within reasonable amounts, maybe combined with other fats, are really good on keto. Raspberries also have high fiber, and strawberries. Blueberries are kind of fine, but they definitely have a higher net carbs than the others. And they're good for making smoothies. A keto smoothie milkshake with some fats put in there can be a good way to help you get some fats. As can a bulletproof hot chocolate. Use something like stevia or xylitol, or not xylitol, stevia, or an erythritol blend like the Canto monk fruit sugar, or like Swerve, some kind of like a sugar alcohol like that. Can be a good way to sweeten something up on keto. And so high fat hot chocolate can be a good way to just get a fat bomb and stock up on the macros there. And speaking of such sweeteners, you can make desserts on keto. They're not going to be as good. It's just not going to quite taste as amazing as something made with actual wheat and actual sugar. But I've made some decent cheesecake and cookies and whatnot. Though not everything I've made has turned out quite all that right. Not necessarily the best chef. At the end of the 3 months having pasta again, I realized that I didn't really miss it that much. Though, what I did miss was potatoes. Dang, I could always go for a French fry. I am no longer, obviously, because it was just those 3 months, doing keto the same way. I'm cheating a bit more. I'm doing like a part-time keto. I do keto 5 days a week, sometimes 6, but I usually have to take a second non-keto day to satisfy myself. I need to be a bit better about not eating too much junk on those non-keto days. But another way I've sort of maybe cheated a little bit is with keto bread. Go to Winco, and there's keto bread that is apparently all fiber. I don't get it. Maybe it's witchcraft, or maybe they're lying to me. But it has been kind of a help. I highly recommend grilled cheese steak sandwich. And get some vegetables, some spinach on your sandwich, or have some salad with some feta and olive oil and whatnot. I've also done some intermittent fasting. Back when I was taking certain courses in high school, going to the WANIC program at the DigiPen Institute of Technology with other high schoolers. Sort of like Running Start, but not with college students. I would actually find it not that difficult to just wait till my break between the classes to have my first meal of the day. But that was a while ago. And I've tried to do a little bit of intermittent fasting here and there while doing keto, but only recently have I really done it more. But it's another one I would recommend. I've heard that, supposedly, Intermittent fasting might even be better for weight loss and ketosis and whatnot than like cutting stuff out of your diet. Might be able to get a strong effect just from changing when you eat to being fasting for 16 hours a day. One thing I did notice during my, especially during the 3 months of keto, was being hungry less. I used to eat a lot, but there would be days where I would have one regular medium-sized meal and be fed and fine because fat's very filling. So if any of you are looking for diet, I would recommend trying it out. I would recommend combining keto, intermittent fasting, and exercise if you really want to lose some weight. So if you have any questions, you want pointers towards recipes or something, go ahead and make comments about that down below. Thank you for watching. See you all next time. Coke is also very good on keto.